In the heart of ancient Africa, where the land stretches wide under the golden sun, there was a village named Tamboko. This village stood near a great river and was surrounded by thick forests and endless plains. But what made Tamboko special was not the river nor the land. It was a single giant baobab tree that stood in the center of the village. Its trunk was wide like a house, and its branches reached toward the sky like arms calling to the heavens. The people of Tamboko believed the baobab tree held the spirit of Mwinji, the great ancestor who once led their people through war, famine, and darkness. Mwinji had been wise, kind, and strong. Before he died, he told the people, "When my time comes, I will not leave you. My spirit will live in the baobab. Listen to it, respect it, and it will protect you." Generations passed, and the villagers kept Mwinji's words close to their hearts. They never cut the baobab's wood, never picked its leaves without a prayer. And every full moon, they sang songs and danced around it to honor his spirit. Children played in its shade, elders sat beneath it to tell stories, and women left offerings of food at its roots during harvest time. One of the most curious children in Tamboko was a boy named Kimo. He was known for asking too many questions. Why does the baobab not bear fruit like the mango tree? Can the spirit inside the tree see us? What if we touched the inside of the tree's trunk? The elders would shake their heads and say, "Kimo, some things are not for playing. Respect the old ways." But Kimo's curiosity was stronger than fear. One night during a full moon celebration, when the drums beat loud and the villagers danced with joy, Kimo slipped away. He walked quietly to the tree and placed his ear against the bark. All he heard was silence. Then, without thinking, he began to climb. He wanted to see what was at the top of the baobab. As he reached a thick branch, a sudden wind blew, strong and cold. The drums seemed to fade. The moonlight dimmed. And then a voice low and deep spoke from within the tree. "Why do you climb, child of Tamboko?" Kimo froze. I wanted to know if the spirit is real." The voice replied, "You seek truth, not with respect, but with doubt. Still, your heart is not evil. Come and I will show you." In a flash, Kimo's vision changed. He was no longer on the branch. He stood in a wide desert alone. In front of him walked a tall, dark figure wearing a robe of feathers and bones. It was Mwinji, the ancestor. Mwinji pointed to the land. "This was the world before the baobab," he said. Dry, broken, and lost. He waved his hand and the land became green. Rivers flowed, trees grew. When our people forgot the old ways, I returned through the baobab. Not to rule, but to remind. Kimo followed Mwinji through scenes of the past. Wars fought, peace made, droughts survived. He saw his ancestors giving thanks, working together, sharing food and love. Then he saw other scenes: greed, jealousy, fights among neighbors. Trees cut without prayer, offerings forgotten. "These are the dangers of forgetting," said Mwinji. "The baobab holds more than spirit. It holds memory. When the people remember, the spirit grows strong. When they forget, the spirit fades." Kimo suddenly felt the weight of his actions. He hadn't come to honor the tree, only to test it. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I didn't understand." Mwinji looked at him gently. Understanding comes from listening. Now return, and help your people remember. Kimo woke up at the base of the baobab tree. As the first light of dawn touched the land, it was cold, his clothes damp with dew, but his heart felt warm and full. The drums had stopped, the villagers were asleep, and the tree stood still and silent. From that day, Kimo changed. He no longer asked questions to challenge, but to learn. He helped his grandmother prepare offerings. He listened to the stories of the elders without laughing. And most importantly, he told the younger children, What he had seen. The village began to notice the change in Kimo. They listened more carefully when he spoke. During the next full moon, he was asked to lead the dance around the baobab. As he did, the wind blew gently through the tree and the leaves rustled like applause. Years passed. Kimo grew into a wise man. He became a storyteller, a keeper of traditions. People from other villages came to Tamboko to hear the stories of the baobab and the spirit of Mwinji. The village flourished with respect and unity. But one year a great drought came. The river shrank, the crops failed, and hunger spread. Some villagers grew angry. "What good are spirits if they don't protect us?" they asked. A group of young men, full of pride and frustration, decided to cut the baobab to use its bark for medicine and water. Kimo, now old and gray, stood before them. "This tree has given us life not just in body but in spirit. If we cut it, we cut our memory, our unity, our soul." But they didn't listen. That night, as the axe hit the trunk, the earth trembled. Thunder rolled across the sky, though there were no clouds. A great wind blew through the village, breaking roofs and bending trees. And from the baobab came a loud cry, a mix of sorrow and warning. The next morning, the village woke to silence. The baobab still stood, but its leaves were gone, and its bark was pale. The spirit had gone quiet. The villagers were afraid. The drought worsened. Children fell sick. Finally, the young men who had struck the tree came to Kimo and said, "We were wrong. Help us bring the spirit back." Kimo gathered the village. Together they cleaned the base of the tree. They brought offerings. He sang the old songs. And Kimo, with the last of his strength, placed his hands on the tree and whispered, "Mwinji, forgive us. Help us remember." That night rain fell, gentle, healing rain. The river filled. The crops began to grow. And slowly, new green leaves appeared on the baobab. Kimo passed away peacefully days later. Under the tree he had loved all his life. The people of Tamboko buried him near its roots. And they say, when the wind blows through the baobab at night, you can hear both Kimo and Mwinji speaking to each other, guarding the village together. To this day, the baobab stands tall in Tamboko. It is not just a tree, it is memory, spirit, and life. And the people have never forgotten again.